Hi everyone, I'm here with Chris Campbell, who just started a new position as visiting counsel at Baker Hughes GE in Florence, Italy. And Chris has a very interesting story how he got to start this position. I just wanted to ask you if you could share that with everyone on our channel.
Well, sure. I'm glad to do that. And it was really interesting because I'm from the great state of South Carolina. And so when the opportunity came to me from GE, they said, we're going to give you an opportunity in Florence. And so I said, is that Florence, South Carolina, or Florence, Italy? And of course, then in Italy, and that's how I found myself there. But just rewinding a bit, I had written an article about a year and a half ago, January of 2018, on diversity and inclusion in international arbitration and dispute resolution, laying out some practical tips there. And that got some attention from practitioners from around the world. And one of the practitioners that wrote me was Mike McElrath, my boss with BHGE. And he and I developed a conversation over the past year and a half or so. And I reached out to him back in October of 2018 and said, I'm thinking of exploring opportunities outside of the U.S. And he said, well, if you're interested, we need some additional help or open to having some additional help in Florence. Would you be interested in coming? And again, confirming that it was South Carolina, or not South Carolina, not South Carolina, but actually Italy. I took the opportunity, and that's how I ended up there.
Yeah, brilliant way of going, because how many law students really do actively publish and actively reach out to practitioners? And this is just to go to show how effective that can be in starting a career. Other than those two things that you did, do you have other tips of what young practitioners should look into to start their career in alternative dispute resolution?
Well, that's a good point, Claudia. I think a lot of times students either A, don't think about writing content, or B, or think it has to be the perfect content that they put out there. But I think, yes, there are so many tools today, whether it's Twitter or LinkedIn. The main important point that you want to think about as a student is thinking about where are the people that you want to work with active. If that's on their email, if that's on their LinkedIn, then don't be afraid to step into that space and to say, hi, I think your work is interesting. I'd like to chat with you sometime about it. And just that conversation alone might lead to an opportunity, or if nothing else, you've built a relationship or you've started building a relationship, and then that builds upon itself, and you don't know where that might go.
So don't be afraid to start a conversation, and also don't be afraid to put yourself out there and find a space where you can add value and where you can contribute to what's already in discussion for the people that work in the field that you'd like to go to.
Exactly that. There are lots of opportunities around the world, and sometimes it just takes knocking on a couple of doors and seeing what you're interested in and not being afraid to take a shot. And maybe sometimes that shot goes in.
Go after it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much.
Absolutely.